Hello, Dave here. Welcome to the first of Dave's Dodgy guitar lessons. I got asked by a young guitar player how I managed to find my way around the fingerboard at a gig I did recently. And I had noticed that there weren't that many guitar players sort of getting on into the bands these days. Well, there's lots of guitar players, not many soloists, and so people, you know, young chaps shy of actually getting stuck in and doing a solo, and when they do, they kind of fade, you know, in the background instead of actually punching out, which they, you know, if you're going to be a soloist, then, you know, you've got to push yourself forward. Ask any singer. And anyway, I said, you know, you've got to know scales, basically. That's the foundation for all these things. It's pretty boring, but so this is really just to give you some ideas to how to navigate your way around the fretboard. So that's basic E major scale, and there are 5 patterns that will get you from that scale to the one at the octaves. So next pattern, which contains the notes from that scale, but not starting on the same root. So it starts at the F sharp. Okay, so and from the A flat, and from B, from the C sharp, and then you're back to the top. Okay, so that's 5 basic patterns, each of them containing notes from that scale, but starting on a different start note. And the G, that first pattern, which on the E you've got a lot of open notes, obviously, so you don't need to, you play it a slightly different way, but if you were to do that in G, it's that. And when you're practicing these scales, which you have to do a lot, you have to get them ingrained so that when you're on stage you can actually forget everything technical. The worst thing is when you see a guitar player, and I mean I do the same, you know, when I get lost for something to say, and you start looking at the neck and you start thinking of what you can do, because you know it happens to fit. And as soon as you see somebody looking, it means they're thinking about the solo, it means it's not going to be a great one. The great ones are where you've just let go of everything and your mind is completely empty, which, you know, mine is most of the time anyway. But when you're practicing these, you mix it up with different sort of patterns. So it starts to sound a bit like you're soloing then. I mean, it's still just, you know, bullshit over scales basically, but, and you know, when you're practicing, you leave notes out so you can do things like this. I'll do that again. Yeah, fingers are knackered. But you get the drift. Okay, so there's lots of different ways. And then look at ways of getting around, like. So just look for notes that fit within whatever key you're in. Okay, I mean you've always got the root note occurring, and then you can explore, minor scales and things. Obviously, not everything is in major. A lot of pop songs are, but you look at, for instance, the fourth pattern. That pattern comes fourth on a major scale and starts on in G, starts on an E root. But if you were to play that pattern over the G, it becomes a sort of minor scales. So so there's relationships. It comes into modes as well. The Greek modes, the Ionian, Dorian, Mixolydian, Mixomacantosis. I don't know. So it's a matter of experimenting with where those notes match for a solo. Anyway, we'll come back and do some more rubbish at some other time. So, warts and all, I won't bother editing much of this. I'll just put it out as it is. You know me. Nothing if not random. Bye for now.